All right. It's Joey Atlas back with another life lesson. Now, of course, most of this comes from the fitness aspect, the health aspect. But the truth is, health and fitness permeates every aspect of our life in its entirety. If you're unhealthy, if you can't move, if you're diseased, if you're aging prematurely, it doesn't just affect the body. It affects every part of your life and everything you're connected to. Your career, your job, your family, your relationships, your hobbies, you name it, everything is affected. So today's lesson is something that everybody deals with and goes through. Of course, only if you are on a steady program. If you're not doing anything, then this is something that is really never an issue. It becomes an issue, though, when you're trying to do something and you either don't get started or you get started and you fall off the program. So here we are. It's a Sunday late afternoon. Tomorrow's Labor Day. I've been doing a mixture of things, mixture of work, running errands with my youngest daughter, doing things around the house, replacing some light bulbs, more work. And as time was progressing throughout the day, I knew in the back of my mind, late afternoon is workout time. But something kept pulling me away from here. I had these little distractions going off in my head, these little excuses coming up to keep delaying. And then I started saying to myself, maybe I'll skip it today. Maybe I'll put it off until tomorrow. Maybe I'll have a good enough reason not to do it today. Everybody deals with that. Even the perfect professionals deal with that. We're all human. We all have these human minds. We're not robots. We're not programmed perfectly, which is a good thing, by the way. So how did I end up getting my session in when I was about to flake off? I was about to skip out on myself. I was about to just not do it and put it off until maybe tomorrow. Here's the truth, and here's how I basically never skip a session anymore unless there is a truly valid excuse where the schedule just does not allow. And that happens, and that's okay. But on days like today, when it's more of just this little mind game going on up here, here's what it comes down to. I consciously realize I've got priorities. I consciously realize that I have a fully functioning body, a body that works, whereas there are people in this world who do not have a fully functioning body. So this is a gift. I have the opportunity to move, to exercise, to be physically active, whereas other people in this world either only have half a functioning body or even just functioning from the head up. Take theoretical physicist, for example, Stephen Hawking. Before he passed away, he was wheelchair bound. One of the things that he could not figure out, and you can see videos of this on YouTube, it baffled him why fully functioning people did not exercise and take care of themselves on a daily basis when they had full capacity to do so, and instead they let themselves go. They let themselves get more and more diseased. They let themselves deteriorate and self-destruct. Baffled him to no end. Good point, though. So I realize that it's silly for me to be having these little excuses pop up and these little distractions and these little conversations going on up here trying to make me not get into this zone right here and do my thing. The other part of it is I have no excuses not to do this. I've got half an hour. I've got a half an hour every day. I don't have to commute to the health club. I don't have to take 20, 30, 40 minutes to drive to the fitness center and then back. I don't have to deal with the crowds. I don't have to wait in line for machines. I don't have to feel like I'm punishing myself with all the hard approaches to exercise that naturally make me not want to do it. Makes a lot of people not want to do it. I get it. I get it. It's easy to talk yourself out of something that feels like punishment. But truth is, that's not one of my excuses. This does not feel like punishment. It feels good, and the results show, and I have no excuse not to do it. So I didn't flake. I didn't skip out. I didn't come up with any harebrained excuses not to just step into the zone here and get it done. I did it. Today was shoulders, and I'm going to take you through a little sample routine of exactly what I did before I decided I'm not going to flake on myself. And here's another thing. If you flake on yourself, if you skip out, whether it's one time that turns into many weeks, months, and years, or you continuously skip out and flake out, stopping yourself from ever getting started, here's something to consider. It's not just your life that you're taking away from. You not being at your best and not taking care of yourself is taking away from your loved ones, your family, your friends, your career, your hobbies, any goals you have. You can't get there. You can't give your best if you're not at your best. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your loved ones, and you owe it to your goals to take care of this first, here, all the way through. It's not just about how you look in the mirror. It's how this whole thing functions from the inside out. And trust me, when you start taking that approach, looking at your health from what you don't see in the mirror, but what's actually going on the inside, and you start taking care of it that way, yeah, you'll start to look good, you'll start to feel awesome, but the brain starts working better. You start realizing you have much more control over you and your life than you thought you did. So, take that lesson as I take you through a little summary session of my shoulder training today. I'm going to show you a couple of advanced moves, a couple of intermediate moves, and a couple of beginner moves. So no matter who you are watching right now, you'll have a little something that you can take away and put into use. And of course, if you're interested in the complete system, just post below. I'll tell you how you can get on the pre-holiday pre-order list for the personal Sculpt-to-Fit home gym systems. Here we go. As usual, I've got my body weight shoulder press. I'll give you a couple of reps. In case you're new here, you've never seen this, this will be a treat for you. Notice the slow, steady, controlled movements. Nothing fast, nothing risky, nothing jerky. So that's the advanced version. Now we'll go to the intermediate version. We go facing in, one foot on the floor, the other leg is up. We come in for the shoulder press movement, working against gravity, and we push. Slow and steady. We want to take momentum out of the movements for two reasons. Number one, when we take momentum out, the muscle fibers do more of the work that they're supposed to, and they get stimulated in shorter amounts of time. The other reason is, when we take momentum out, we take out that speed factor, and we increase the safety and decrease the risk of injury on these moves. Low impact, high focus. Feeling that? Okay, so we're going to go to a band move, and I'm going low to high, and I'm going to show you also what the typical gym alternative is to this that causes a lot of injuries and a lot of dysfunction in the shoulders and the neck and the back. So this is the super safe, super effective version of the lateral deltoid raise, side shoulder muscles. Showing you a few reps. And you can see these shoulders are working. Even though these are resistance bands, when you have good bands and you know how to use those bands in specific exercises, in synergy with other movements and exercises, the bands bring awesome results. You'll see my palm is face in. Now on this next move, my palm's going face down toward the ground. I turn the handle. More emphasis now is on the back part of the shoulder, rear deltoid. So we take it out, we pause, Back in slowly, controlled. Today I'm going from low to high. Next session for shoulders, I may go mid-range, straight across. Then after that, maybe next week, I'll go from high to low. So same exercise, but multiple variations to give these muscle groups multiple stimuli angles. That's one of the secrets here of the Sculpt to Fit system and my methodologies that are different from what you see out there and everybody else doing. All the copycats and the beast modes and the kill it bro. Yeah, this is gentle, looks simple, looks easy. And compared to all that stuff, yeah, it is. But it's super safe, super enjoyable, and super effective. And I'll go on stage with any one of them characters, not because I don't like them, but just to show that easy, slow and steady can win the race, baby. Even when you're closing in on 50. Keep watching, because as the next few years progress into a decade and beyond, I'm still going to keep going. I'm still going to be looking to motivate you and inspire you. We're just getting warmed up here. This is just the beginning. I still got another 50 years to go. And you better believe that you're going to keep seeing all this over and over and over to prove that this works, and it works really, really well. What else do I have for you? I'm going to show you a band shoulder press. And that's going to wrap it up. So this is actually for intermediates, beginners, and advanced. And how we change that is simply by adding more and more resistance bands to the move. Lighter band for beginner, medium bands for intermediates, more and more heavier bands for advanced. But the principle is still the same. Synergistically, we use it with all the other movements together. We move slowly and steadily, pausing. We get the isometric kicking in, and then back slowly. Slow press, entire shoulder region is working. You can see my entire core is kicking in to keep my body stabilized. You don't see me sitting on a bench with these dumbbells over my head or this bar across the back of my shoulders behind my head and me trying to push this bar over my head. That's injury zone. We don't need that. We don't need that. The body's not meant to sit down and press these heavy weights behind our head. Our body is meant to work as one unit, fully functional, working in synergy from the ground up, making the movements happen. And guess what? It makes extra fat burn when we make the whole body work together for a specific outcome. All right, so that's the right side. I'll give you a taste of the left, see what it looks like. We go here, shoulder pressing on a nice angle. We pause, feel the isometric, and then back. Now you can see why I didn't flake. Now you can see why I didn't skip out. Now you can see why I had no excuses to not show up. To not show up for me and all the other parts of my life that deserve my best me. No excuses. It's all a mind game. All here. When you simplify the process of fitness, instead of making it more complex, instead of making it more dangerous, when you simplify it, make it realistic, make it doable daily, you increase the likelihood of sticking with it, getting the results, and wanting to maintain that lifestyle and those habits forever. And I'm living proof. Right here, you can see it. There's no secrets. There's no other tricks. There's no complications of programming and periodization and progressive overload and all this other wacky stuff. One more lesson. You saw me doing that band move. Slowly, steadily, my whole body stationary, working from up here, the core kicking in to stabilize. You're going to see overnight trainers on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all copycatting, millions of them. They'll be showing you stuff like this. taking dumbbells and throwing them up, right? Herky-jerky with their back, like this. It's a dime a dozen. Here's why you don't want to do that. Number one, when you're like this, going like this, you're putting your back at risk of injury. When you're like this, throwing these up, you defeat the purpose. Your muscles aren't lifting that weight. That's momentum of your whole body throwing up those weights and doing this. The other thing is, when you're trying to do it all at the same time, it doesn't feel right. It feels awkward. Better yet is to just do one. If you want to do that exercise, go right ahead. Do one at a time, slowly, like you saw me do with the bands. One at a time, slowly, pause, feel the isometric. Then switch it, go to the other side. Keep good posture, athletic stance, stagger stance, not together and leaning over so your back is at risk. Stagger stance, athletic, the way the human body is meant to be used, one at a time. Down slowly. Don't do anything where you have to throw it up and everybody's just copying each other. That's all I have to say. I hope you got a good lesson out of this video. If you're interested in getting your own personal home gym system, Sculpt-to-Fit style, and everything that comes with it, post below or above depending on where you're seeing this. Let me know. I'll share a link with you, share more information with you. And at minimum, if you found some value in this video, any little good piece of advice or lesson or enlightenment, let me know, and think of one person in your life, just one. Hit the share button and share this with them, or take the link and send it over to them, or post it on your social media. Use your social media for good and spreading positivity in this world. Sharing this video and my message is one way of doing that. And that's it. I have not flaked, and I am proof, because I'm human, that you don't have to flake on yourself either. So, if you haven't done it yet, get your gym clothes on, even if you go shirtless like me, and get busy. Even if you don't have one of these, go do something right now. Go use one of my free videos on this channel or on my YouTube channel, and do something. And until next time, I appreciate you watching. And this is my daughter here. See, when you work out at home, there she is. When you work out at home, there's no excuses. You can watch your kids. Now I'm going to make dinner, and that's it. Sunday night is here. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you on the next one. Joey loves you.